Hi everyone, welcome back to the shop. I got a pretty cool project that I just finished, so I wanted to show you guys. It's been sort of in pieces for quite a while. I just sort of assembled them fairly recently, but like it's been pretty much done for some time now. But anyway, it's sort of based on my last designed homemade, that sort of Xskull inspired blaster that I never truly finished because I did it all at school, if you watched that, and like I lost all the CAD files and I never got to do the armor. But anyway, this one I drew all on my computer, so I actually have the assembly file. And anyway, it's almost 100% machined. It does have a few 3D printed components just because it's sort of not worth it to mill like something like a magwell and the handle. Like it's a lot of work on a manual mill and it's a big piece of material, and it's just not worth it. It doesn't really add anything to the blaster. Like it's not gonna break, and if it does, you can just print it again, but I highly doubt it's gonna break. But anyway, machined rail, which is kind of cool because this is larger than my printer can print. So that's machined out of a piece of polycarbonate actually. Another machined rail down below. You can put whatever you want for the handle, adjustable buttstock, and you can put whatever you want on it. I have two blocks. One block is it'll fit standard nerf stocks, so you can put like those worker stocks that are modeled after lightning storms, and this one accepts just like a standard AR buffer tube, which is what I prefer. And now you might be wondering, like, where does it prime? It's pretty short. Where's the plunger tube? This is actually an HPA blaster. It's my first ever HPA blaster. It's sort of it's evolved over time. I'll show you on the bench how it happened, but the current core, or whatever you want to call it, is inspired after the super core, kind of. I don't know if it shares any dimensions, like I didn't copy one or anything like that, but it's the same principle. It has the diaphragm seal. But anyway, we will fire it a few times and then we'll check it out on the bench. Right now I have the magwell for talons. I also have a magwell for just standard Xplorer mags and katana mags, but I don't really like katana mags, and the Xplorer mags, it's just sort of, I have it because I have so many of them, but my preferred mag is definitely a talon. Currently, it's modified to just run on shop air right now, and I haven't ran any air through this in some time, so I think it's going to be slightly leaky. It probably needs to be cleaned and re-lubed, especially because I'm just running this off shop air with like my shop regulator, and the shop regulator is just oiled with like air tool oil, which is really not ideal for something like this. Air tool oil, or maybe it's just hydraulic. I probably just put hydraulic oil in there, knowing me. But anyway, it might leak slightly because it doesn't have the correct silicone lube, but we'll just turn it on with my little adapter here. And if you notice, it chambers a dart. So it'll shoot basically as fast as you can pull the trigger. And right now it's configured to fire off a closed bolt, which is sort of less than ideal. But the next iteration, if I do make another one of these, I'll control it with a solenoid instead of just your regular MJV03. And then you can, set dwell time and things like that, so you can fire off of an open bolt without having to do any crazy machining with the tank. I know Spectre was working on a open bolt tank, but it's really not necessary. You can just control the standard core with a solenoid, and then have it normally not energized, and then when you press the trigger you set a timer for however many milliseconds for the valve to open, and that's just enough to chamber a dart and fire. That's would be the logical way to do it. But anyway, since I'm sort of tethered to the hose, it's sort of hard to shoot, but load a mag. And we'll just fire a couple at my overalls over there. I know you can't really see, but... So that's that. I should probably have this on a higher pressure setting. I think it's just on like... I can't see the gauge from here, but it's not shooting as hard as it could. I can dial this down to basically stock performance all the way up to probably like 200, 300 FPS. So it's just sort of whatever you are doing, which is kind of nice. But anyways, we'll go to the bench and check this thing out. I'll just disconnect the air so I don't get a bunch of air in the face. And we will see you at the bench. Alright, so here we are a little bit more up close, just getting a little bit more detailed look of the blaster. The video is getting slightly long, so I may do the HPA cores or engines or whatever you want to call them on a separate video. I think I will actually, but I'll upload that right after, so you can just watch it after this if you are so inclined. But anyway, here it is, up close. Basically all billet aluminum, just manual milling machine, you know, like how I do. The front, you can put whatever you want. I like the vertical foregrip. Sometimes I do run an AFG. I still have to figure out a tank system after I buy the regulator. I just really haven't had time to go get one, and with airsoft being sort of up in the air right now in Canada, it's just sort of hard to find airsoft parts. But anyways, hope you guys liked the new blaster. I'm not sure if I will make another one of these. It was quite a bit of work, but I would like to do another HPA blaster, sort of like I mentioned, with the solenoid and something to control it, like solenoid valve and a timer, and you know, maybe like a small board so you can get like full auto, 3-round burst, you know, things like that. But that'd be a project for another day. This is just a mock sheath. It's just housing a regular aluminum barrel, aluminum dart gate, just standard stuff. It's just a straight bore, nothing fancy like the other one that I did. Look at the magwell, and it's actually the same magwell as the Springer that I did, and more or less the same grip. I just shortened it extensively, but it's sort of pretty much the same shape. This 3D printed piece here, it's just a guard that sort of guards the, guards the fittings and the valve. This is running off of MJ VO3, which is just a normally open control valve, 3-way control valve, I'm pretty sure is what they are called. Buffer tube here, and this is just an airsoft buffer tube, threads right in there. I have the other stock attachment just on the bench here, and this is just designed to take nerf stocks. If you excuse me for a moment, I'll go and grab one. So here's just like a worker stock that's modeled after those lightning storm stocks, which were super popular at one point. And yeah, just slaps on there like any old nerf stock, and you can mount it there, and it's more or less the same length as the buffer tube when it's fully extended, but I like running it when it's fully collapsed. So then this is actually quite a bit longer, which is way too long for me, so I'm probably never going to use this unless I can find some other short nerf stock. But it's there, I have it, so you can change it at any time. But anyways, guys, hope you're all doing well. It was nice talking to you again. I know I haven't made videos in quite some time, but I don't know what's come over me lately. I've been really like in the mood for doing nerf stuff, not so much machining projects anymore. Got a new job, if you know, any of you are wondering where I've been. I got a new job, been super busy with that, and the new job has taken up quite a bit of my time, but for some reason I'm really wanting to make some classic blasters, so I'm going to make some classic stuff just for fun for myself. You know, making blasters for other people for so many years, you'd be surprised, but I actually don't own really any classic homemades, like you know, your pump snap or anything like that, like rainbow pump. I have a plus bow. A friend of mine gave me his old plus bow, which was super nice of him, so that's nice. And that was the plus bow that I actually worked on, so it's sort of my work. But anyway, I'm gonna make some classic stuff for myself, and I'll definitely show you guys whenever that's done. And we'll check out the engine in another video at a later date. But I'll talk to you later. Hope everyone's doing well, and I will see you again soon.